My dad had this idea about cleats that could give, and that was kind of as far as we got like 10 years ago. And ultimately he ended up saying, well, if you want the idea, it's yours. And now it's Caddix. Now it's this bigger entity and people know about it. So it's been quite the ride.
Jack Rasmussen knows a thing about sports. The former collegiate athlete spent time at Missouri Western as the Griffon's punter, most recently in 2021. During his time in college, Rasmussen did all he could in bringing an idea he shared with his dad to fruition.
So companies last year said, go get more feedback, more data. We got to have players wearing them. We got to make sure they like them, they're not slower. I said, okay, I'll go do that. So that's when I kind of pivoted and made Caddix and just made this whole entire new company. And that's when I got all the feedback and data. And it turns out that this is a long overdue. It's much needed. So.
From testing and getting assistance in making the first cleats, Caddix was eventually born. The cleat is designed to lessen the impact on the knees, ankles, and lower extremities of the athlete, shown here by former Griffon Football corner and current Las Vegas Raider, Sam Webb.
The studs flex, and what that flexion does is it releases you from the turf or the grass. So when you have a non-contact injury, you get stuck in the playing surface and you have no range of motion. It's called rotational stiffness. And your knee tries to compensate for that lack of motion, and that's how you tear your ACL, PCL, whatever. So our studs just produce that rotational force that is responsible from the ground up for those injuries.
Caddix is making the rounds. Athletes seen wearing the breakthrough shoe include NFL legend Joe Flacco, soccer athlete Kayla Sharples of the Kansas City Current of the NWSL, and now getting into the hands of one of the most famous punters, now media legend Pat McAfee.
Never been hurt.
Those aren't Nike?
No, it's a whole company called Caddix.
Those are the Flaccos. Oh,
yeah. Wow.
Smart studs. They're smart studs.
Recently, Caddix has also been worn by Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Montrell Washington. Washington enjoyed the cleats so much that he gifted pairs to many of the Chiefs receivers on the current roster.
Hold on. Little red bottom edition.
Although big names are spreading the mission of Caddix, Rasmussen is thrilled to also help out former Griffon teammate and current Cincinnati Bengal tight end Cam Grandy.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was there last week with him filming that video, and we both kind of took a step back and we're like, wow, this is pretty special. Like, this is very cool. Because at Mo West, when we played together, he always had foot issues. So I made this cleat and I called him and was like, hey man, I got something you might want to try. He's like, well, send my way. And then I sent it to him and I got busy for like a month. And I called him, I said, hey, did you get those cleats? And he was like, yeah, I've worn them every day for the past 30 days. I'm like, oh, cool, man.
Rasmussen, keeping athletes on the field with Caddix. Reporting for KQ2 News, I'm Darren Doyle.
Caddix has raised around $4.5 million, with a lot of that help coming from former Baltimore Ravens legends Todd Heap and Super Bowl champion Dennis Pitta.